I'm chilling, bro.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah. Ready.
100%?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Goddamn. Well, today I'm with the boys from, what's this place called?
New Sun Power.
News and Power. News and Power. It's just dope-ass interview that I got with the homies. And no Faku.
I'm Steven.
Holden. Yes, sir. So, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of shit, but we're going to see. So, I'm excited to see. What do you guys do? Because I come in here, and it's a beautiful office. Looks crazy. And you got to have a lot of money to do this, right? So, what the fuck do you guys do?
Yeah, you want to?
Let the kingpin go here.
We'll let Top G go, huh?
Honestly, we keep it simple around here. We just push and pee. We push panels on the roof, and we live in Utah. I mean, there's a lot of salesmen around here, and we all have different backgrounds. But I think
make sure that the thing is in.
I think what we
wait. Let me lift it up just in case. I was like, what the fuck? This shit's all the way down.
Yeah, see, that's what I was referring to. You can edit that out, right? Yeah. See.
Nah, fuck it. Just leave it. It's cool. Okay.
Come on, Faku.
There you go. Can I have you check if there's the square again, please? Thank you, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, so we push panels here at New Sun Power. We sell solar. I think this is the closest thing to a professional like sport without the actual physicalness to it. But I mean, everyone here makes like athlete money. I'm talking like a lot of the top dogs here, 7-figure money in their bank account, not revenue, not like random this and that, girls contracts or something weird, just hitting in the bank. And I think that's why we call ourselves like professional athletes. And a lot of our competitions here at, the company are around like, actual, the trophy right there, primetime championship is based on, us as athletes, and so I think that's like the main thing that we do here is just push panels.
Damn. So that's what you call it, pushing P.
Yeah. Pushing panels.
First, I was like, I know that reference, What? So you guys are salesmen, right?
Yeah.
Door to door.
Good ones, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, not
you
bad
can't
ones.
have this place if you're not, So what's the hardest thing about being a salesman?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I think the biggest thing, or at least the biggest thing I see with a lot of people, is switching from, because I mean, your whole life you're taught like you get paid hourly, right? And you want to go get a high-paying hourly job, and switching to fully commission-based is like a really big jump for a lot of people. Like they're scared to make that jump. I know I kind of was, right? Yeah. But I saw too, like, because I got pretty lucky. I got in this job like 2 weeks after I turned 18. So it was like pretty much as soon as you can get in. And when I saw the people that were making the money they were, I was like, dude, there's no reason why I can't make that. Like, we're not that different, right? If he can, I can. If he can, I can, right? There's no reason why you can't. But I think that's the hardest thing is a lot of people are scared to make that jump,
Scary. True. I mean, like, it's super comfortable when you got a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
So as long as you go. As long as you wake up,
you show
you're
up,
good.
you get paid.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, getting a 4.0 GPA and just going to school. You're still going to pass. You're still going to graduate. Mm-hmm. But the top ones are the ones that really work hard. And one of the funniest things is that it is scary because you have to trust yourself that you're a hard worker.
True, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, bro, the biggest thing is just consistency, dude. Because, I mean, if you're in sales, you eat what you kill. You know what I mean? So you got to go out and do it every single year. And, there's never that guarantee that you're going to get a paycheck. You got to go hunt that thing down. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is just staying consistent, especially in the door-to-door space, bro. Like, it's all cold leads. Like, there's no warm leads. Like, you go out and you find all your own sales. So it's, it's hard, but it's definitely rewarding.
Yeah, make sure that's pointing your way. There you go. That's good.
Lean in this way a little more. Good?
Yeah, but so when did you guys know? No, when you start as a salesman, how much money does it take to be like, shit, I'm lit?
That's a good one.
It is a good one because, dude, I don't know. I think as you go on, like, you start to realize, man, like, I think people think that like making 6 figures, like, just making $100,000 is like such a high income where like you kind of start realizing as you grow up, like, dude, life is very expensive, bro. Like, that's not a lot of money anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's you evolve.
Yeah.
So like 100,000 is a lot when you barely made like living on a $10,000 base, you know. So
Yeah.
if you get 100,000, then you now want to be at 50,000 base. And it's like, oh shit, now I only have 50,000 to play with. And if you get 200,000 and so on, it's like it depends on how you live. And I feel like, you know, as a salesman, like you said, you eat what you kill.
Yeah.
You love to just do things, buy the new car, buy the new house, and that's just dope. You know, it's awesome. But now you have to live up to that. So that's good because it pushes you to another level.
Definitely
now
gotta be careful.
Yeah, if you buy a Lambo, like the homie here, Steve.
Let's go.
Just posted it.
I mean, that took time to get, but like it wasn't like the first year ever. I mean, I've been in many different sales jobs as a whole, and I think, I mean, the owner of this company, because I was gonna go back to be actually a nurse anesthetist.
Really?
So I went to school for 5 years, became a nurse and everything, worked at Ogden Regional, and I was like, I'm done with sales. Honestly, like I made 180K 1 year, and I was like, you know what, I can be a nurse anesthetist and make $250,000 and be happy with my life. And I think the owner of the company was like, you know what, give me one more shot, put one account here at this company, and I did it. 2-3 weeks later, I got 18K in my check.
God damn.
Off one.
Off one deal. And I was like, right there, I had a clicking moment. I was like, whoa, if I do 100 of these, that's $1 million buckaroos. And that's what clicked. And I think that's when I saw the opportunity like actually hit hard. And I think a lot of people think like, oh, you know, get a lot of these opportunities, get sold a vision, get sold here and there. But I think the only thing that really matters is what hits your bank account. And I think that's never failed. You know, in this system that I've been here, it's never failed once. So what actually hits the bank account, and I think that's what a lot of people like lose out on. And a lot of companies, they think, oh, one more year, I give this company a shot. One more year, I go here. One more here. It's like, bro, if it hasn't happened there, and you already spent 6 months there, why are you wasting your time more? You know what I mean? Why are you giving them the benefit of the doubt? You're worth too much to let someone else dictate you. You know what I mean? And so I think that's kind of like what hit me home here. And the last 3.5 years, my life's changed. You know what I mean? So I mean, 3 years later, Lambo it is, you know?
Yeah. Well, and that's like the cool thing about the culture here too, is like you think 100,000 is a lot of money until you're around people that are making $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, wow, I'm not shit. Right. And that kind of pushes you a lot harder in a way, where I know it did for me, like kind of similar thing. My first check that really sold me on it was like over 10 grand when it was like, and then I also shifted my mentality. I feel like, well, dude, if I can do this in a week, like I can do this every week.
Especially at that age, right?
Yeah, I was like 19. And then, 18. 18, I got a check for 14 grand.
Damn.
And I was like, okay.
In a week?
Yeah, well, it was my
That's
back end.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
yeah, that a prior company.
That's good.
But yeah, and then in solar, 18 grand in a week. And I was like, well, dude, yeah, that's my new week now. Like that's my standard, right? And yeah, you just kind of compounds.
Whew. It's a very warrior lifestyle, right? Because if you know, back then you went out and you saw somebody kill a buffalo, you're like, oh shit, I want to kill a buffalo too. You know, so it like motivates you a lot to be around people that constantly getting Lambos, right?
Yeah, I mean the thing is out here, it's not like the leaders. Like I'm just a normal rep. Like I'm just a rep in the trenches. I'm not like one of those guys that sit behind like a desk and cake off everyone and make $1 million bucks. No, I'm in the trenches. I live 4 deep in an apartment. I drive a 2006 car on the daily with a 20-inch sub. Like I rep like the normal lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a humble guy, I am like on the field. And do what everyone else does. I don't ask anyone to do anything that I wouldn't do. And that's why I'm there. That's why I hate like when someone says, like, bro, you excited to be this? You excited to be the new position of regional with this and that? I really am not. Because that means I feel like I have to step away from like what everyone else has to do. And I want to do what everyone else has to do. And that's where the real money's made. Right there with your people. That
is true. I read a story where somebody was like, how do you become rich, right? It's like, oh, work for somebody who has a lot of money. Because a lot of the times, a person who has a lot of money is spending so much that they don't get to make more, right? And then the person who's just working for that person is constantly just making the full package. They just make it. They don't have to spend for materials. They don't have to spend for this and that. And that's one thing a lot of people like. That's why sales is so good, because it's your own company, but without all the other bullshit. right?
You just sell.
Yeah.
True.
You just sell.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing else you have to deal with, or you don't have to, obviously you're just on the field with your sales reps, helping
Right.
them become, successful, because that's like the best joy is seeing other people become successful along your side, other than afar, right? Like it's different. It doesn't hit the same unless you're right there in the field helping everyone else.
Yeah, it's true.
If I make over $1 million, then what else is everyone else making, on the field, right? They're making a lot of money too.
And that makes
right?
you feel good once you see somebody make 200,000, 300,000.
I would say that feels better once you've done this job for a certain period of time. Your own checks, like it's kind of like okay, like that's just how it goes. That's like expected.
Yeah.
But when you have new guys coming in that were in your same shoes, right? Like we all went through the same thing. We all started at the bottom, to work our way up. And you see them cashing 10, 20, 30 grand checks, like that hits way harder.
Especially when you saw them struggling. Dude.
Yeah. You saw them like push through it.
Like, dude, that's
Damn.
like so many people that I've met where it's like, oh, dude, like my parents are sick. Like I can barely afford life, stuff like that. And then you bring them in and all of a sudden, like, they're cashing out, dude. You change their life. Like that's the best feeling ever,
Damn.
And they're stroking the check to help their parents. They're the ones now like being the number one for their family, right? That's, you know what I mean?
Like, dude, we have several dudes that we even brought in just this last year that like were living literally paycheck to paycheck, bro. And then like
In debt, terrible
debt.
credit.
Damn.
And now
Like
they have
bad
great,
in
yeah.
debt.
Now they're, great
now they're
credit.
out of debt. They have good credit. Like, dude, their bank accounts have money that they can live off of for the next like 6 months. Because with our job, dude, like one thing that we love about our job is like we work hard as hell for like 6-7 months, and then like we just pretty much vacation the rest of the year, right? Like that's one thing that's huge about this industry is like I'm able to just work my ass off for 6 months and then enjoy the rest. But several guys that we've brought in this year that were literally living paycheck to paycheck, and now like it's life changing, bro. Like they've never seen stuff like that. So it's the beauty of our job.
When you, let's say that I bet there's a young guy out there looking like, what characteristics does somebody have in order to be like, damn, I could be a good salesman?
That's a good one.
I love this question though, because it's crazy. I've brought in dudes that I was like, holy crap, I thought this guy was going to be a killer.
Yeah.
And they flop versus the dude that you bring in that you're just like, wow, this guy's going to suck. And he ends up killing this guy.
Damn.
Because he just, because he outworks the other guy. The other guy is like, has too much ego. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of people, especially reps, that maybe they don't have the best pitch, maybe they don't have the right words to say on the doors all the time, but they're usually the first ones knocking and the last ones knocking.
Yeah.
And they're the ones putting in the pound after pound, knocking after knocking, and those rules are all just compound from the other guys that think like, oh, I'm too good. I don't, I can coast. And the ones that think they can coast and start like working less, those ones that fall off. And the ones that they were supposed to be good. They were supposed to be like
This
up here.
Yeah.
But the ones that weren't as good as when they started and probably aren't as good really in general are actually just way better just because they actually work way harder.
Yeah.
I would say that's what makes like a really good rep. A lot of times they come in and they kind of suck, right? Because then they have to really earn it.
Yeah.
If they come in right off the bat and they kill it, then that kind of builds their ego more than you'd want. Because then they feel like they don't have to learn, they don't have to work the hours, they let off the gas too early, right? And there's so many times you see guys come in like just taking off and then kind of plateau and then fall off.
Yeah.
And if you fall off, it's really hard to get back up. Like momentum is your best friend,
Yeah.
So
Do you think sales is a numbers game? The more you do it, the better results you get?
For a degree, but I like the concept, but yes, it's a numbers game. But the thing is, if you treat everything as a numbers game, then you're just not going to put like much skill into like individual numbers. Like it should be as time goes on, it takes less doors to get the same results, right? Like maybe in the beginning it is a numbers game, but I think hard work meets opportunity, and I think that's like the more the mentality you have to have. Like it shouldn't be 100 doors to get one deal.
Yeah.
No, it should be like 10, 15 doors to get one deal. That should be your mentality. I think then you just think it's like anybody can do this job. It's just, just got to knock. You know what I mean? I think it just puts some wrong mindset into people.
Yeah.
I would say more consistency, like Facundo said at the start. Like a lot of guys that come in and that suck, right? To like earn, like to get good, it's all the inputs. It's kind of a numbers game at the start where you're going hard.
Yeah, I think at the start you have to do
It has
as
to be a
much as
numbers
you
game.
can.
Like you're working really hard to learn the jobs, a total
can,
new
like,
skill set. It's unlike anything you usually ever do in your life. Just total new way of making money, and you get you work really hard to get kind of good at it, And then if you get good at it and you keep that hard work, that's when you take off. It's like a lot of guys get good, let off the gas, you know?
A lot of them,
And with that, bro, I think it's huge to start from the bottom, bro. Like if you look at our industry right now and how things are, like, I mean, I think we see a lot of people at the top now where like they started at the very bottom and they actually dragged their feet like through the mud, you know, and started from the very bottom. Like you can't skip steps in a lot of things in life, but you know, especially in this job, dude, like I think the people that have done the absolute best in this job, like you see dudes all the time, you're like, damn, 3 years ago, this guy was just like the most like no one knew who this guy was.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's, you know, making more money than most of the dudes. And you're like, damn, dude, like that guy was at the very bottom. I think it's so important not to skip steps. And the dudes who have actually been through the mud, like, are the ones that end up being the best eventually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's why it's tough when people are always talking about being confident all the time. I feel like having a little bit of insecurity is good. You know, having that balance between super confident and kind of super insecure, because you do push yourself more than others. Because if you're too comfortable, you're too confident, right? You're like, nah, I got this, but it's like sometimes you don't. But if you're too insecure, then you don't even want to touch it. So if you're right in the middle, then it's like, oof, like that's that sweet spot.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I've heard I've heard it from like actually the owner of the company says the paranoid only survive. And I think if you're always paranoid and your back's always against the wall, you're feeling that stressful feeling, that's what's actually going to make you like
Make or break you.
Yeah.
never stay the same. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole idea in this job, right? How you can keep growing is like, dude, you got to be always stressful. Like you're not doing enough. You always can be doing better. You always got to be paranoid and thinking like, just
what am I missing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And still like, I got it. I made it. No, you never made it, bro.
I think that's true. That like reminds me, because me and this guy have been at this for a long time. Like, dude, I remember his like 2006 Hyundai.
Damn.
And he's the same guy too. That's what I love about Steven. Like, dude, he wouldn't turn the AC on because that cost money. Like this guy,
Like burn
and
gas
I'm talking. This
in
is
your car.
Texas.
Now the Lambo's like,
Yeah, bro, this is Texas, like 112 degrees outside. I'm like, bro, come on. You know, but at the same time, like, dude, he smiles the same way as in the Honda as he does the Lambo, right? But Noah's like, I think that's one thing we've always done. Where in 2021, what do we have, like 4 or 5 reps? And that year, I remember I was just thinking, like, what can we do better? What can we do better? Like, you know, if these guys can run teams like this, there's no reason we can't, you know? And it's always been that year over year of like that insecurity or like that paranoia in a way of like, dude, what's missing? Where are we lacking? You know, how can we just make this better?
well, dude, it bit me in the ass, bro, because you can get comfortable with a lot of work too, right? If you're busting your ass, like you can get comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But I have a girlfriend, right? And it was weird because I was like, I have no time. I have no time to make time for her. I have no time to go to the gym with her. I have no time to, celebrate times and stuff like that. And then some shit happened, and we took a break, and it's like, holy shit, I do have time. Because once you identify the important thing, then that can help to stay against the wall as well. Because imagine, like, let's say it's 5 p.m. and I have a dinner at 6, but I still haven't gotten my desired amount of money, right? Or my desired amount of accounts. I have to push and I have to find another way to get better and, like you said, more efficient, faster. So I can make it to 6, because I don't want to be at dinner just be like, fuck, I could have gotten that account. God, So making time for the important things actually help you so much more for your business than people actually think. They think it's just work, when it's like, no. If you care about your life and your personal self and development, it helps a lot, because you have to kind of step away from your job and make time for this as well. So you have to get better at this to make up for the lack of time that you're not spending on here. So that has taught me so much to be like, okay, I'm gonna do all the important things, but I'm gonna work a lot smarter and better on this, so then I don't have to be thinking here like, oh man, I should have, like, you're fucking up my success in a way. It's like, no, she's not doing anything. You're the one who's not getting better at this. You have time for this, but you're just not doing it good enough.
So you're talking about like a balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's really hard to get to that point. You know?
I think, I mean, in my opinion, I'm young though. I'm 22.
Oh, okay, then
Yeah, I'm like,
you're gonna
really,
suffer
like,
from love later on.
Yeah.
It's very different
I
for
think
him.
for me, like, dude, I say, dude, if you're my age, like, dude, fuck balance.
Oh, 100%.
For a little bit.
100%.
For a little bit. Like, dude, 5 years of over $500,000, like, can set you
100%.
up for life.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know? And then balance comes.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, dude, for me, it was like just getting really good at this. And another thing I think too is like a lot of people wear too many hats.
Yes.
Where they're like, oh, like I can't tell you how many guys I know. They're like, they want to do sales, and then they're starting a shoe company, and they've got like this gym gear on the side, right?
Yeah.
And they're doing all these things, and there's mid, right? At
Yeah.
all of them, as it's like, dude, how can you just double down on what's going to make you the most money, the quickest, get really good at that, teach that to a bunch of people, you know, boom, like you're set, right? And then you can kind of chill, diversify, right? Get into other avenues, other things. But yeah, that was it for me.
Like putting your head down at the
Yeah.
beginning. No,
Yeah.
that's true. I feel like your 20s should be just exhaustion, like to
Yeah.
the max.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
then
your
at
full
your 30,
energy.
yeah, your 30s, then you can decide. It's like, all right, do I want a girl? Do
Yeah.
I want to be with her? Like, do I care about a family?
Yeah.
But in your 20s, you should, you know, I kind of fucked up on that. Like, I should have, in my 20s, it should have been 100%. I don't give a fuck about anybody else. It's just
Go.
Grind,
go,
yeah.
go, you know?
It's the healthiest we're ever gonna be. It's the strongest we're probably ever gonna be. We can lack sleep and still like, you know, we could be sick as hell.
Yeah.
And still work. Right? Just because we're like, that's like the 20s, right?
Yeah, dude,
But
I think
that's when we gotta use
You
like
can eat
our time.
McDonald's
Yeah.
every day, bro.
Yeah, that's
Chill.
when we gotta
You'll be- yeah,
go
you'll be
hard,
good.
right? When we're 40, we can't go hard like that anymore.
can't, bro.
You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
That's
Yeah,
that's
and
when
it's
we gotta,
different too. Yeah, like I think about that. That honestly like almost keeps me up at night because I come from, dude, like nothing really. And just that thought of like having that same thing when I'm 40 or like when my kids or you know whatever, like dude, that's like no, like that's not an option, you know?
Yeah.
And
I think you can definitely find balance though, because like it's so nice to just like be 22, like Holden, and not have any responsibilities just other than work, just focus, and that's it, right? That's super nice. But you know, there are a lot of people out there that say like, hey, if you have like a wife that like holds it down for you and stuff like that, like that'll push you further than anything. And like, you know, we're all in different situations, but I think there's definitely a healthy balance that you can find right there, you know?
Yeah.
you just got engaged. Oh
did.
shit! How was that?
Good. I mean, you know, in the past, like, obviously getting divorced and stuff. My mom had cancer. She was like on the verge of dying and stuff. So like in the last couple of years, you know, I've gone through like a pretty like rough like patch and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's one of those things where like, it goes back to what I was just talking about. Like, I feel like, you know, this year, like we've lived together now for like a year and stuff. And this year I had honestly a pretty good year, like honestly a really good year. And I found that healthy balance that we're talking about, you know, like I still was able to spend time with her and my daughter and come home and see them while still being out there in California with these guys and grinding and making the most out of like, you know, those like 2-3 weeks that I'm out there. And then I come here and I see them and I'm here for like a week, you know, and I'm able to spend time with them and stuff. And I think there's that healthy balance for me. And that helped me a lot. But yeah, I mean, overall, like, dude, she's helped push me to have the year that I had this year, and it's been great, you know?
Bro, I actually took a little bit off of your book because I saw you doing Pilates with her. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck? I want to do Pilates. You know? I want to make time for that because it's those little things.
Mm-hmm.
It's those little moments that it's like you can go and bust your ass and like go work super hard into another state. But when you come back, it should be about them.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I know it makes her happy, so like that's what I do,
Exactly.
you know? But on top of that, I started going, dude, and bro, you ever done Pilates?
Yo, yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, he started coming with me with his
Oh,
wife too.
damn.
So like both of us go, like, cause my wife and his wife, like they hang out and
Okay.
stuff. So, but dude, that is,
Yo,
if
it's
you want to get in shape, like one huge goal that I set for myself this year was like, I was going to get in shape because I'm only 5'9", bro. No one 5'9" should weigh almost 200 pounds.
Yeah, that's
And I
crazy.
got to that point, and so I was like, all right, I got to do something about this. So I started exercising like as much as I could, and that's why I play soccer all the time, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm always at Pilates, dude. And like I lost like 35, 40 pounds, dude. So like
Damn, congrats, bro.
it's been good, you know. But that's another huge reason why I do it. Is just I know, you know, if you're in that room for 105 degrees for an hour, bro, and you're doing Pilates the whole time, like you're gonna get in shape. You know what I mean? So But yeah, a huge part of it is just, you know, you want to make them happy, right? So
What do you guys do when shit gets really hard? Because, you know, once you put your head down, you don't really think about a lot of things. But when it gets hard, like that could be home or that could be mentally. What's some type of steps you guys take for that?
I'll talk about like every year is a hard year.
Yeah.
Just because I make 7 figures doesn't mean it wasn't hard in the making.
No, I'm talking
right?
about like, you know, it's supposed to be hard. Making money is not easy. It's really, really hard. But I'm talking about when you go through those moments, like a human moment where it's like, you know, like you can have the Lambo, but you're still gonna go through stuff.
Yeah, but I'll give you an experience. This summer, we went to Boston, right? We sent 60 people out, right? And we're sold on the dream, we're sold on the vision, and come to find out the people that we, you know, the financee, so to say, that we sell for, changed everything up. And we're not actually gonna not make as much money.
Damn.
Meaning, you know, we're probably taking a 50 to 60% pay cut overall if we stay. So I have 2 options. I either sell the dream and tell people, yeah, we're gonna make great money still, right? As some people would, or I take the hit and pay $300K for housing to pay the rest of the contract off, and pay $50K to ship everyone out to back to where I know it's good.
Yeah.
And either like that's the decision I had to make. Like, okay, that's a hard decision. Like that's $350,000 that I have to be responsible for, or just sell a dream here, right? And tell everyone, hey, we'll make great money.
Yeah.
You know, and be okay with that. And I think that's like one of the most stressful moments I had in my life, because I was like, what if I didn't make it here? What if California didn't turn out good? What if I didn't do good here? You know what I mean? But I think once you see success, you'll always be successful.
Yeah.
And I think that's a mentality you have to think about. You got to think about the moments you were always successful. And if you be successful once, why can't you be successful daily? And I mean, just because we had a hardship in, you know, Boston doesn't mean in California it's going to go bad, right? We knew it's good. It's always been good. Why not go back? Why not go back to what we call the gold rush?
And it
California
worked,
had a
bro.
gold rush back in the day. The gold rush is still here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's interesting how a lot of the biggest jumps you make are when the
You make hard
hardest things
decisions.
happen.
And that's it's crazy
And
you
it
say
can
that,
pay off the
because
most sometimes.
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
back and in 1 month I made $500,000. I'm not kidding.
light flags.
That's the craziest part. I was like, whoa, you know, I had 32 installs in a month in August.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people don't see that for a whole year. So I mean, like
some
that's,
people really don't do that all
they,
year.
they
dude,
really
so-
don't. So like that's the thing that like switched. I was like, whoa. So that's why we're gonna double down next year. You know what I mean? So that was like. That was a breaking moment for sure. And I think every career is gonna have a breaking moment. That, like you said, a step that you have to take to like bite the bullet, and good things are gonna happen. You know what I mean? You know, from
I
there.
love how you just talked about doubling down. Like, I feel like stress will always come around. Like that's a given. Like no matter what, if you're just sitting at home doing nothing, you're gonna be stressed. Like, but if you're working your ass off, you're always gonna be stressed, right? Something that always comes, and I've always known that it's better to create your own stress than to let stress just get to you. You know, that because that will eat you. If you just let it come to you, that will eat you. But if you make, like you say, if you double down, you're creating your own stress. So the bad stress kind of stays away from you. Because like, oh, I already got it, because I feel like everybody's supposed to get it. You know, so it's like the stress, the bad stress, it's like, nah, he's busy over there with that stress because he created that. And that's why I love when you say that. It's like you got to double down. Every year you got to double down. You know, that's why there's taxes. You got to spend, you know, you got to do extra stuff. So
Yeah.
I think you just
dope.
always gotta just remind yourself, dude, that you gotta keep going no matter how hard it gets, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've gotten my ass kicked, you know, several times in the last couple of years, but like, bro, just that, you know, you just gotta keep doing it, dude. Like, what the hell are you gonna do other than that, right? Just let life beat you up? Like, no.
Yeah, I think some people just jump off the road too quick. Like they, you know, I mean, a lot of famous
people
people
do.
have said
Yeah.
it. People quit too early. People don't see it through, and then at the end of it, right? That was the big diamond or the big gold mine or whatever it is you're seeking, just because you're just that close. A lot of people are that close to the opportunity, you know, and they just jump off too quick. You know what I mean? And I think that's the sad part about this industry. And I think I always tell myself that. I was like, what if I went back to nursing school? I'd be still making $250,000 only. And I'll be like, I'd still be working forever till I'm 60. Literally. I would keep, I tell myself, and that's why I never take for this opportunity for granted.
Yeah.
Because I always think about that one moment where I almost said like, this was about to be my life for the rest of my life until I'm 60. And I was going to be essentially in prison to the work system, working my ass off till 60 years old. So now I do this for 5 more years. I'll be set. Yeah. Never have to, never have to touch a door again.
Well, I think that the thing, the toughest thing for humans is that we believe that there's going to be this utopia, like, retirement. Like, it's going to be so perfect. And I'm like, bro, nowadays,
hell no.
You have to work for the rest of your life. You have to come to the fact that that's it. You're going to work for the rest of your life. If you want to have a car, you're going to have to pay insurance for the rest of your life. If you want to have a house, you have to pay bills for the rest of your life. So it's like, you're going to have to keep working. So there's no such thing as just like, finally I'm here. It's always constantly, always something new, always something cooler. Like you said, you at 40, you won't be able to go out and work all the time, but there's going to be some mentally that there's going to be a job or like a project that all you got to use is your mind, and now your mind takes over. And you no longer work super hard, but now you work in here. And I would say that your mind, it's harder than physical, because your mind doesn't sleep. You can rest, but your mind is constantly going. So there's no such thing as finally I'm done. We're going to have to work forever.
No, I agree. I think that's kind of why I love this job too, is there's just levels to it. It's like, how it all works is you come in, like Facundo was saying, you start at the bottom and you become the best at that position, right? And then once you get to the top of that mountain, now you're the worst at the next one.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you just completely restarted the clock, and you got to get the best at that one. And then boom, now you're a closer, and now you're the worst closer, right? And now you're climbing a whole new mountain.
Well, you know how they say that when you get to the top of the mountain, you're like, oh, hell yeah. You look up and there's just like 100 new mountains. You're like, wait, that mountain looks super shiny. Like, why do I want to go there? Yeah. Now you have to go all the way down. You got to beat yourself up to go all the way up again. And then you get to that one and like, how the hell does that have gold on it? What the hell? You always want something cooler, in life. So I don't know. What do you guys see? What's the epitome of this for you guys? Like, if you had to create your own reality of where this is going to take you, where is that at?
Like the KK vision.
Right? I'd say financial freedom. Yeah. Like, our whole spiel is, dude, you shouldn't work at 40. Like, that should be, most people, like, I think, like, dude, like, having fun and partying away your 20s, like, that's totally fine, right? Like, everyone's way different. But also, like, dude, if you want to use your 20s to set yourself up, like, that's also amazing too. Yeah. And that's like big credit to Steven. Like, dude, this guy, you wouldn't guess it, but has like a shit ton of passive income. It wouldn't have to work if you probably don't,
Yeah, I mean, I could stop right now, but like you always want to chase more. And I think, good is the enemy of great, as they say. And I mean, this job is to propel you to the next level, whether you want to start your own business. I mean, the thing is, everyone does school these days. That's cool if you like school, but hey, you have a couple summers, bro, pay off your school, get a new car, buy a house in the meantime, and then go do your profession. But I think this job needs to buy you time, and that's the thing that you can't have in the matrix, you want to call it, the world we live in. We don't want to be, we want to make our own world. You know what I mean? We want to make our own video game out of the game. You know what I mean? Like we play on the daily, and I think that only comes with buying time, and you can only buy time making a shit ton of money.
Well, like
and you putting in the right places.
It's cool how you say, like you decide what you do with your youth and everything. And I always tell people you have to know the difference between enjoying your youth and fucking up your future. Right? Because you can party your life away in your 20s. But what are you doing? You're not having fun, bro. You're actually fucking up your future. Right? But if you put your head down in your 20s and you work hard, you might not be enjoying yourself, but you're protecting your future.
100%. Dude, I saw this quote. I brought it up to the guys, and it was the road to hell feels like heaven.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, like partying, blowing it all away, right? Whatever. And then the road to heaven feels like hell. Like, dude, like I don't love just
think about
grinding
it.
my ass off all the time.
Where does the road to heaven lead? Up, right? and then we've all done the exercise where we go up, and it's not easy. I was just in Park City. I was dying, bro. Like, it was bad. But the road to hell goes down, right? And it's fast. It's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But when you get there, going up is the hardest thing.
There's a time and a place, bro, for sure.
Exactly.
Dude, I think all three of us are kind of we've got it on the down road too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it makes you appreciate. It makes you appreciate like once you are getting up there like a lot more. You know,
it makes it twice as hard, but it makes you work harder.
Yeah.
So that's really good. You know. So, what's next for you guys? Like, what's? I mean, you already have a Lambo, G, so I don't know.
I mean, I think a couple of years ago, I mean, this is when I was big with Andrew Tate, and like I call this guy like my brother, and I think I always wanted to just be successful with a couple people and just like know like we made it in life.
Yeah.
You know, drive around in supercars with your, you know, what you call brothers in life, and you know, I think seeing more people, I think that's what's next, is it's just
getting more people in Lambos.
Keeping more people on that same trend, you know. I think a lot of people just don't know what they actually exist. You know, this exists. That is possible to actually do it. I think a lot of people think that's a lie. It's not, you know, we're not selling a course, right? Some people sell you a course. You have to pay me money and then I'll make you money. Bro, no. You pay me nothing, I'll get you there.
You come in for
that's the difference.
Dude, I love that about this job is that it doesn't matter who you are, fat, skinny, short, tall, like what you look like, what your background is. Like, dude, you come in, you get the key, because obviously, you know, we're successful with it.
Yep.
For free, don't pay $1. And then you just got to figure out how to turn it, you know? And we help you get there, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We provide all the tools, dude. Just, you know, come in, work hard. And who knows? You know, you might have a life-changing story like Steven, dude. Could have been a nurse right now and set himself up for early retirement instead, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think
You
that's
never know.
really it.
So, Andrew Tate.
That's my boy.
That's your boy?
That's my dad.
Oh, don't get him started.
Damn. Why do you look up to him so much?
I mean, I think he was saying like when he was 16, 17, he was like looking on the streets and his friends were like, dude, look at those supercars. They're so cool. This and that. And he had the mentality like, no, that should be me. That should be me in there. And I think everyone has a different mentality of life, and that's why they either are ahead or not. And I think that's my thing. I was like, nah, that should be me too. Like, I should be there. Like, I can work. Dude, none of us look different from each other, but someone was just wanted more. And I think that's like why I resonate so well with Andrew Tate, because he just wanted it in life. You know, that's it. You know what I mean? He doesn't look, he's bald. He doesn't look special, bro. Like, yeah, he's buff though. But back in the day, did you not look how he was young?
Yeah.
Bro, he looked like a bum.
Homie was busted.
Bro, that guy was a bum, bro. And look at where he's at now, right? I mean, not that I say agree everything that he has to say. Like, we don't agree about everything what everyone has to say, but like, I agree with like what mentality and successful wise that he has. And I think he's had certain things like motivation and opinion. Like, my opinion, like him, motivation doesn't exist. It's discipline. You got to get after it, right? You just got to wake up, everyone. No one wakes up thinking like, I want to like go slay the day. No, I don't think I want to stay in my bed in all reality.
I'd say more often than not, you don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to get after it. You don't want to do it. But no, there's things like, again, you got to wake up, be a man, because we're all men, right? Back in the day, what did our ancestors do? They went out and hunted. If they didn't hunt, they didn't get food. What do you mean? They didn't sleep in the cave still? Nah, bro. Like, he just talks so plain and simple and just cutthroat that just, for me, that resonates so well. Yeah. And I think people complicate life too much with this and that and spin too many words. No, it's simple. It's, you know, and he just blatantly, simply, like, you know, says it. Like, kind of says, don't be a pussy. You know what I mean?
I know a lot of people hate him too, dude, but he does teach quite a bit of principles that are like things that people don't say, that like they're too afraid to say it. Like, he'll straight up say it, and then 100%. You think about it and you're like, okay, this dude's actually right.
Well, I think, you know, in the time that he came in, Andrew Tate was needed for our society.
Yeah,
bro, we've gotten so soft.
Yeah, we did get soft. Did you not see in the 1990s how buff everyone was?
Yeah, bro, they were killing
you
it.
see, like,
even like the old PE curriculum.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone was buff.
Dude, compared to now, it's
like we've gotten softer as a generation.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, come on, man. Like,
yeah, so that's the thing where it's like we needed someone to like speak up of like, nah, we can't change. We can't, like, imagine if we stayed this course. Like, what would we be? Like, You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, that just does. No, we got to live up to our full potential. And that's doing the hard things. And that's telling us we got to hard. And dude, he's changed a lot of people's lives, bro. I've seen the people's stories. I've seen this one guy, and he told someone, he was like, someone wanted to kill himself. He told him this story. I don't know if you ever heard the story that he told. Yeah, someone wanted to kill themselves, and Andrew Tate told him this: go get a 6-pack and tell me if you want to kill yourself after. He got a 6-pack, and that guy was a beast after that. And I think that's just that simple. I think if we all look good, we all eat good, we all make a lot of money together, how can you be sad? How?
Yeah.
Facts. Dude,
Like,
that
that's
actually brings
simple.
me back
Like,
to-
that's simple.
We were talking about balance earlier, and I think like in this job, one big thing that helped me was like feeling good. Like how if you feel good, you're gonna sell good, or if
100%.
you feel good, you're gonna work good. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
and whatever you do. And I think a thing we preach now is like fitness, the gym, like taking that time for you, like outside of the job to make sure you're feeling good, and you're on your game, and you're taking time for yourself, and naturally kind of the other things in life will align with that.
Bro, I saw it because, I'm actually going to therapy for the first time ever, bro. I'm super like against that. I was just fuck
So
that.
am I.
Like, I don't care about that. But I don't think it helps you with your mind. I don't think it fixes you. It just gives you tools. It gives you knowledge, right? And if you're already strong in your mind, you're just gonna get so much more stronger. And that's what people don't understand. And one thing that I learned in therapy was that they say that men, the way we experience depression is by not having a goal, by not having a mission in life, right? So if you're home just chilling, watching TV, not doing nothing, you don't have a goal. You don't have.
Yeah, of course you're gonna be
You don't have a
depressed.
mission
Yeah.
to go kill a fucking animal with your boys. You don't have that, right?
Yeah.
And the way women experience depression is not being understood, right? So
Yeah.
then
for real,
then it
dude.
tells you that men, yeah, right.
That's a bar, bro.
But then that tells you how, man, we need that goal, bro. We need to get up every day, like you say, and
Go
just
get
go
after
for
it.
You have to go for it, bro.
You have to achieve it. You have to do
Yes.
it. Right? You have to get after it. Go
Dude,
do
and
it.
another thing I think with men nowadays is like one thing I think I've been good at is finding great people. Like,
yes.
even just at a younger age, after I kind of got through some like dumb shit I was doing, kind of like got around good people. And I think a lot of guys like that I meet really lack that. Like they have friends, but more like acquaintances, no real, like no one they could call like I don't really have a brother, but like that I call Steven my brother, same with Facundo, a lot of guys. Because that makes the mission so much easier. Like it's so much easier to chase and build and scale and do things if you're with just like a bunch of like-minded guys that are,
Well,
on the
you're
same
supposed to, bro. It's like the women can go chill and hang out and do their life,
Yeah, we'll go hunt.
Yeah, we'll go to war. Like it always trips me how back in the days in wartime, there was men who would go kill about 20 to 30 people, actually like behead them and like fucking cut their insides, and they would go home and just eat like a normal person.
Yeah.
Just go and take a shower and go to the field and cut corn or some shit, and then just act like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what we have to go through as men. Sometimes our women or people who are around, they have no idea the type of battles we go through because we don't tell nobody. We really don't. We like the hardest times we've ever been through. We just keep it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And nobody knows about it, right? And we still gotta go. We still gotta make time for our girls. We still gotta make time for your daughter. You still have to make all these things. But you going through some shit sometimes, bro. I remember 7 years ago, I was in Hawaii. I had no money. I had no money at all. Like my bank account, it was after soccer, I was done. But I was in Hawaii having the best time of my life with my girl. When I had to pay like $2,000 the next week, I had no money. I don't know how I was gonna do it, but I did it. And I went through so much shit, but it's like, I didn't tell that to anybody until now. So it's like, you go through these things that nobody knows about, but that's because you're a man. You're supposed to. Nobody's supposed to know. We just do it.
Yeah.
Right? And with your boys, that's the only people who gets it. Because if you're going through some hard shit, you'll be like, damn, he's going through something. Let's go do something cool. You know what I mean? And then your brain starts moving. So, oh, we're gonna go do something cool. Yeah, you need people like that in your life. That's why your boys are so important. And that's what you guys got going. Your culture is like that. It's like Everybody, I've seen the huddle.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude, you could ask anyone in KK, like, what's KK? And I feel like a lot of them would say a family. Like, it's very, like, dude, I mean, it's a funny job because you work together, you live together, you eat together, you sleep together.
KK, that's like the team. The
That's-
name of
yeah,
our
Kilowatt
team.
Kartel.
Kilowatt Kartel.
And yeah, dude, I feel like it's just really rare. And not like in any job out there that you can really find that. You know? And be able to make that kind of money with like your homies.
yeah, exactly. No, it's just
True.
like
I think that's one thing that makes us like so different from other like industries, other teams out there is that specifically that Holden just, I think you just nailed that pretty good.
Yeah, the culture, the who you surround yourself. I mean, I know that. I mean, culture is within an office, not a company, right? You make that, and I mean that's why he says family. That's why we make rules. We have guys and girls beside. That's why you say like no incesting, right? Like because we call ourselves a family, right? Like we actually like
Yeah,
legit.
crazy.
Like really say, hey guys, no incesting, right? There's a ton of people that vape, you know. Andrew says, so what? He says, breathe air, bro. I legit pay people to stop vaping. I legit
wow. Hey, shout out to you. That's awesome.
Like I want people to change. Like
Yeah.
why not be a better version of yourself?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need someone to hold yourself accountable, right?
Yeah.
And that's why like that's the whole idea. It's like everyone wants the same mission for each other, be greatest. Like,
Dude,
be
and
the
it's
best
funny
person
because
ever.
people that come in will start to assimilate to the culture.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like Bo Johnson, bro. This kid, shout out Bo. But no, he came in and dude, this kid had hair down to the bottom of his back.
Damn.
The shyest guy ever. You know, and now, like, if you looked at him now compared to then, you wouldn't even recognize him. He has a
Yeah.
slick back, like, dude, super sharp, outgoing, confident.
He talks different, dude.
Talks different,
Yeah.
walks different, acts different, right? And like that was just after 3 months of being with us, like every
Yeah.
day, you know. And I just think that's dope. Like yeah, like who you're around, you know,
Well,
definitely.
you learn from your
definitely
environment.
matters.
100%.
Absolutely, man.
And you grow with your environment. And bro, you know, I've been working a lot in the politics, and those people are cutthroat. Like,
Oh,
That's bad, dude.
like yeah, I love sales and how it looks, but politics, bro, it's the ultimate war. Like people will smile, but they're stabbing you. And they would laugh and like, oh, amazing. You know what I mean? Like it's very, very interesting. So that's why I feel like starting my new company, Maikon Media, it's like, oh, I see how hard it is to sell that contract. You know, it's really hard. But with soccer, I never had to sell anything, right? I had to sell myself, but it wasn't like, yo, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to sell that $1,000 contract. I'm gonna do it. And if it has to be 800, fuck it, I'll do extra. But I will sell that contract though. You know, so I get
Yeah.
your industry a lot, man.
So let me ask you, bro. How has it been? I mean, dude, you were in a big like spotlight, dude. You were a professional soccer player. I remember at one point, like, you were a huge talk here in Utah, you know? So like, how is it? How did you transition from, you know, being like, you know, a professional soccer player? Like, how has the transition been to now where like you're working in politics, you're trying to start a media company?
It's the same shit. It's like
Really?
like you just like, you know, becoming a professional soccer and player in Utah back then was the craziest stuff ever. Like, who does that, right? Now, you know, after Bofo, after Justin Glad, after Nico, they all but those are the kids that we would play, and they were
True.
right there, you know. So I see how I always think that your job is to make other people happy, and you can't make other people happy if you don't work your ass off, you know? So it's like, I knew coming into this, it was the same thing as soccer. It's like, how do you find a scout, right?
Oh, like those people specifically.
Yeah, you have to
gotcha.
find certain people in your life that kind of get you to that place. And then it all, like, it's little pieces that you're like, oh, but it's at the end of the day, it's the hard work. No matter what you do, like, I've noticed that the only time I pray to God is when I'm super fucking tired at 3 a.m. When I'm dead, I'm still up, like, trying to finish a project. And I'm so tired that I look up and I'm like, I don't even pray. I'm like, you see, that's it. That's it, you see. That's it. I imagine you guys, the 20th door. Well, how much is a lot of doors?
In a day?
Yeah.
100 doors is usually 80 to 100 doors. What
The
you shoot
thing
for,
is,
right?
you get to a point where you become like really good at this job, and you're just having longer, more, you know, like you're just having longer conversations that are actually
Yeah.
getting somewhere. So like when I was actually knocking doors every single day, versus now, you know, I'm a closer, so it's like it's harder to go out and knock doors every day. But when I was knocking doors all day, every single day, like at first, yeah, I was knocking like 100 doors, but you start to have more effective conversations with people. So you end up only talking to like 15 people and finding 4 or 5 sales, you know, in those 15. So it gets better, you know.
But I'm speaking about those first times, you know, where it's like, even with me, like I had to do so much free work that it was just like, it was dumb at the beginning. Like, it's just like going to those 100 doors. But when you're doing so much free work and you're doing 100 doors, the only time, like in my way, the only time I pray is when that's going on. I don't pray. Why would I pray at 2 doors? Why would I pay? Why would I pray at 9 at night? Like at night, it makes no sense. It's like, oh, you're not tired. Anybody prays when they're not tired. But when you're tired, when you're like, what the hell am I doing? Okay, now it's like, okay, can you help me out now? Because what else am I gonna do? I'm just work my ass off. It's like I need an extra.
Yeah, we've all had those days.
You know what I mean?
It's like a tender mercy, like the tender mercy. You know, you guys know what a tender mercy
what is that?
You never heard of it? It's like when like an act of God somehow just fell before you, and you just hella needed that in the moment. Is what a tender mercy is. It's
You
just
pushed
like
the boundaries so
he
much.
pushed the boundaries so much that he just gave you like, you know, here you go, my son. Here you go, my daughter. You know what I mean? Like we've all had those moments, and I think we forget about those moments. But those moments is what make us, and those moments are like what life-changing career like opportunities does, because that helps to remember like. Now, like someone's always there watching me. I don't know how religious people are, but I'm religious. Go to church every Sunday. Try to be right. Try to be good as much as I can. But yeah, like I think that thing's real. You see that in the job, and that only happens to those that actually like work, like you say, like right, like not to the ones that like don't do anything and want like a miracle, please help. Like what? Like you didn't do any work,
that
right?
shit doesn't work.
No, that's the funny thing though. I get the 3 a.m. thing. I think the market always pays. I've never seen it not if you put in the work.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a kid come in, go all in, have good effort, you know, good attitude, and not figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. And like there's been so many times where like my deal of the day going from 2 p.m. now or 11 a.m. in alarms didn't come until 8:30 at night.
Oh yeah.
Of just like bang, bang, nothing, no assholes all day, and then that tender mercy, that 8:30 p.m. just deal.
Opens
But dude,
that was
you
your kill
go
of the
home
day.
from that day feeling so good, bro.
Bro,
You're
so
like,
good,
holy
so
shit.
good. And
I
even if
did
you don't
it.
get it, I feel like, dude, there's just something fulfilling about working really hard.
Yeah.
It's like, you come home and it's like, shit, like I didn't get it, but like I feel good about like just leaving it all out there.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I remember starting this company, and like it was like at the beginning a lot of free work, a lot of like just doing, and you do so much that out of nowhere, like you don't even notice it, but out of nowhere, like you start with like maybe somebody finally said yes to $100. Oh, cool. And then, but you're in the flow, so you don't notice it. And then somebody else says yes to 200, and you keep pushing the boundary, and they're like 300. And you're like, whoa. Then you're like, I just showed up for 20 minutes, and you get paid $1,000. It's like, what? You know what I mean? It's like, but you're in the flow, and as soon as you figure it out, it kind of slows down. You're like, oh no, it's because you have to be head down, just going. And then when you stop and chill, that's when you figure it out. But when you going, it's going up, but you're just not noticing it until you stop.
It's so crazy you say that, because how often does it happen where like we have guys that are popping off, right? And then that halfway like middle of the summer like slump hits, and like they start stressing themselves out, but then they figure it back out luckily. But this happens a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
You'd
we
be surprised.
preach. It's momentum.
Yeah, momentum, exactly.
Momentum
bro.
is your best friend. And I think this job, anything, like, dude, if you're doing good, it's so, like you're going up, it's so easy to keep going up.
Yes.
It's when you stop and you start to go down, and then you have to like, dude, you lost all your traction, all your momentum. You have to like get the ball back up the hill.
And that's why, bro, even like with the whole thing with my girlfriend, and I'm super honest with everything, but I used to be the type of guy who'd be like, work, so much things are happening, booms. We get in a fight or something happen, I'm like, fuck. Now I take a year to like find myself and like get better. I'm like, what the fuck? And then nowadays, now that it happened, I'm like, why the fuck am I gonna stop? Keep going. You can get better. Like find a way to find and to get better and do things, but keep going. Don't stop at all, bro, because that's where the magic is at.
Yeah.
When you keep going, because I believe it's like you're breaking through the barrier of reality. If you want to be a millionaire, you have to break your reality. The atoms have to be broken. And that's not easy. That takes a lot of energy. And a lot of the times the energy, like, the energy comes in like either a breakup, either a really tough time in life, either you lose a lot of things, like, or that big 300,000 thing. Like, that's where the energy comes. And a lot of people think it's a bad thing, but no, you use that energy in order to break through that reality. Because if you don't use that energy, you know, I always say God gives you the tools, you just don't use them. And the tool manifests itself in that. Stress, bad times, really scary moments. That's what it's actually energy, but people think it's bad. It's like, no.
No way.
As soon as something bad happens to me, I'm like, ooh, this is an opportunity. Oh shit, okay, now I just got to strap on. No homo, but just no Diddy, you know, but I got to strap on and go, because it's like you're I would say you're like a time machine for a wormhole, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's like those moments that is so hard. It's like that's where the energy is. Garnish it. It's like garnish it. How do you say it? Garnish it?
Yeah, garnish it.
Yeah, garnish it and then use it. Because a lot of people don't use it. They just let the situation kill them off. And it's like, no, if you just do the opposite, bro, you could do so many big things. But that's where the magic is at. The hard moments. And that's what people don't understand.
Yeah,
you know?
dude.
No, I agree. I think people are more motivated that way too.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely guys in the summer where like, or, you know, in the job, sometimes things get hard and you're like, wow, like no amount of money could make me knock this next door. Right. Like, because it's just such a, like, you know, intangible, like it's not really worth everything, you know, when things get really hard. But things like that, like guys, like we had this one kid come in straight off a DUI, right? Kind of like messed up a whole bunch of stuff. But dude, he took all that and just put it in this and like popped off. Right? He made a shit ton of money this year.
Yeah, he set himself up.
Yeah.
Set himself up.
If I could just, I truly believe it's like a trampoline. Bad times is a trampoline.
Yeah, because if he actually had a breakup too. I know this guy named Jarvis. He had a breakup too. So not only did he have a breakup, he had a DUI, and he was like, you know what? This is like the best thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I can't even drive, go out. So now I can just knock doors, and I don't have to worry about someone that doesn't love me anymore. You know what I mean?
Badass,
I can just make my bag.
I met this
I
kid.
bet you hit him up now though.
I met this kid at like some bar in Orange County, bro.
Damn.
Like just one of those kids where you're like, dude, when you talk to him, like he's hilarious, bro. Like he's super outgoing, he's funny, he's good with people. And then, you know, I was just kind of like, dude, this kid would kill it at this job. So I ended up bringing him in, dude, and he had a killer year, bro. This kid literally made, I think, 13 grand in a week, his first like week on the job. And
Yeah,
it's just
his
like,
life.
bro, like he was literally living paycheck to paycheck.
Damn.
Like selling stuff he shouldn't have been selling at the time. Like, you know, he was just like, his life was going downhill, dude. And he came in and he just like figured out a whole different, you know, side of himself, bro. But yeah, man, like, you know.
And the thing I love about him is he did keep going.
He did not stop, dude.
Yeah,
just
you
like
can't, bro.
just kept riding that momentum through the whole year.
And he
No
hit
Diddy,
that midsummer slump pretty hard.
Bro.
And then he figured it right back out, bro. And he was right back up on top.
I often think of, you know, because with the soccer thing, I often think like, what would have happened if I didn't stop? That's why I go so hard nowadays. Because what if I didn't stop? So I have the base. I have the version of what happens when you stop. So I already know that. Like, I'm not gonna stop because I already know what happens. A lot of younger kids or a lot of the younger people, they don't have the data, right? So they stop, just like I did. I didn't have the data, and now I have the data. I know exactly what happens when you stop. So it's like, no, fuck that. I don't ever want to go through that again.
And that's what pushes you, probably. You know, in those times where it's like,
bro.
Shit, I don't want to, but you know what happens
But you
if
have
you
to go
Yeah.
because you're like, no. The momentum. It's like if you can feel it, like physically, you can feel something when there's a momentum going. Like, oh shit, okay, let's go. You know, because money's coming in, people are admiring you, or anything happens, or like you're winning a championship. You know, things like that. It's always. I read this book that says the art of love is the art of bettering yourself, right? Because when you better yourself, when you less need love is when most people love you, right? And that's what happens when you go through these hard times. You start connecting with yourself. You start thinking like, what's wrong with me? What did I do? And in the process, you start loving yourself, right? And because you start loving yourself and you're telling yourself it's all good, and you start quote unquote hanging out with yourself because you kind of become a loner when you're working so hard, then people want to be around you because you no longer want to be around people. They want to be around you. And it's so weird, bro. But that's what I've learned, that it's like, if you want love or if you want people to admire you, you have to love yourself first. And that comes with a lot of work, and that comes with being alone and bad things happening to you. And those moments are the ones that you actually become the best version of yourself. Just like you said, the guy with the DUI, it's like, it's so hard, but it's like, you have to get out of that slump. And how you do it? By becoming better.
Yeah. Well, I think that's how you really get anything, is like, you have to become what you want to attract.
Yes.
Like Steven was a millionaire way before he made $1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Way before. Like, I saw that happen real time, you know? And I think, like, that's just kind of the nature of the job, that we kind of call it putting on the next hat. Like, a lot of guys are leaders before they're like a leader, you know, on paper. Is like, you got to become that before you get it.
Bro, you just, like the mentality, like Steve, like that mentality is just, put that mentality in the right situation, and the world opens up for you. Like that's the hard thing. It's getting to that situation. It's that getting to that opportunity, right? And I believe that everything is an opportunity. Like if you do, let's say, what was the first check you got, the biggest check?
It was like $18,000.
$18,000, right?
Here at this company, yeah.
I believe that that's just a tryout for the universe. It gives you something, and then it says, wait, are you up for it though? Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like, are you going to do it again though? So a lot of people, and I can promise you can talk to anybody, they've gotten that opportunity from the universe all the time, but they just can't surpass that. So the universe is like, yeah, I'm not going to give you that because you're actually going to get hurt. So they believe that it's like, oh God, oh universe, why? No. The universe was actually protecting you because you didn't get through that tryout, right? It's like let's say you think you're good at soccer, but then they put you in a stadium in front of everybody, and then there's super good people. Messi is there. Like, well, what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna shit yourself. You know what I mean? So the universe knows exactly. It gives you a first opportunity to see if you can make it to the next level. So let's say a guy comes in here just a Q and it's like kills it. That's awesome, but now you're gonna get tested. Every single time you get blessed, you will get tested. And that's the scary thing that people don't get. They think that once you get blessed, ooh, it's perfect.
You made it.
Yeah, you're good. You're gonna plateau. No. Now you get tested. It's not on your way up that you're getting tested. It's when you get there when you get tested. Now you get tested. And a lot of people fall off.
And that happened last year. I mean, that's a good example. I mean, the solar industry actually sucked last year.
I heard about that.
A lot of people crashed. Companies went out of business. People closed up shops. People were making the least amount of money ever. Wow. And I was like, nah, that ain't gonna be me. I made $1 million once. I'll make $1 million every. That's my standard now, right? And I was like, what am I gonna do that I'm not gonna be like everyone else that get affected by the industry? So what I did is, thought, and I was like, you know what? Why is no one in the East Coast? What happened was in California and some of these other states got regulated on doing like add-ons or certain things, adding on systems, long story short. And so then we went to the East Coast and I made $1 million there too. And everyone else had their worst year ever. Everyone was like, nah, we'll stay back. We'll figure it out. No, they didn't figure it out. There was nothing to figure out. The things, they weren't ready for them, right, yet. And I think that's why people aren't ready to, or sometimes they're scared to like just go balls deep. If you believe in yourself and you know there's something good out there, why not go? And that's kind of what I thought. I was like, I knew it's going to be good out there. I knew there's success out there. So why not go? Why stay where people are going to struggle? You know what I mean? Why battle the storm if there's no storm over there? And I think that's why a lot of people last year didn't have success, and a lot of people didn't, and a lot of people are affected. Still people are going out of business this year, and I think that was part of it. It's a part of it from last year.
Yeah, and they all got tested, and they didn't pass. Like that's just, it's so simple at the end of the day. It's like every day you're gonna get tested. But the toughest test comes when you make it. And it's such a contrast, right? Because you believe, it's like,
I'm finally there. Finally. I need to breathe. We always talk about that. I was like, dude, why can we catch a break? There is no breaks.
Oh my God.
We talk about this every summer. Like, is there not going to be a summer where we don't have to go through shit? There's not like something that hits us. Last year was leaving California, what we knew. We never knew about Boston. I took a 2-week trip with my whole team. I flew everyone out, and I was like, you know what? This is home. home was, and we made $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and then this year, you're right, it was like we went to Boston, it bit us in the butt because the finance company said, you know what, no, we're going to take away your money. We can't, you know, you're not going to make a lot of money. So we're like, wow, now what are we going to do? You know, we went back, and every year there's something, right? And I think that's the year, and if you're not ready for it, then it's just going to eat you alive, and you're not going to make it. You're just going to be a one-time wonder, and then everyone's going to be like, what happened to that guy?
Yeah.
Right? Because you hear that all the time. What happened to him? Nah, I never want to be that. I never want to be washed up. I never want to hear that come out of someone's, that's just me. That's just how I
think
felt.
it should be like expected.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, it's coming, there's always gonna be something bad, that comes up. And honestly, the owner of the company always says, like, dude, the best ones adapt, and the only constant is gonna be change, and like just being able to pivot to that. I think that's one thing about Cake, like our team is, it's been battle tested day in, day out.
It's all a mindset, bro. I can't stress that enough how much that is, because it might sound weird, but I believe I'm a time traveler, right? I know it sounds crazy. But
you know what?
I'm a time traveler.
Time travel? Okay.
Yeah. Listen, though, not physically, though. Not physically. I believe that your mind can travel through time, but not your body, right? Why? Because if you look at your younger self, every single day you're looking at exactly what he's doing, right? You see all the mistakes, you see all the successes, but you see everything that's going on. The one thing you can't do is talk to that guy or control that guy. That's the one thing you can't do. What do you think the 40-year-old self of you is doing? Stinking. He's looking at you do exactly every move every single day. He's like, fuck, dude, you fucked up, right? When I get to 40, I'm gonna do the same thing. So what am I doing now? Right now, what I've done is taken that 40-year-old self version mindset and put it into this self. Now, when I get there, I'll be like, yo, everything that I thought that I was doing, like, no, I'm pretty much speaking to myself. I'm not physically here, but I'm transforming to here, right? So everything that's happening, I'm looking at it from the view of my 40-year-old self. And that has changed my life, because I'm like, when I get to 40, I'm gonna be like, you did the right thing. Because I didn't have a conscience at 20 years old. We think we have a conscience, but we don't have a developed conscience, right? And a developed conscience means that you can travel through time. Like in your mind, though, not through physical world. But that has taught me a lot, because now every decision I make, every choice I make, it's compatible with my 40-year-old self. So this mindset will never change now. My mindset is different from my 20-year-old self, but from now on, it will never change. It will still be the same mindset with different situations, different experiences, but the same mindset. And that, maybe because, I'm no longer 25, and that's when they say your brain develops. But that's been helping me a lot. So it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have the same mindset when I'm 7 years old. Just stronger, but I'm gonna have the same shit. So I always tell people, time travel, bro. It's like, you're gonna be doing the exact same thing 10 years from now. I promise you. And I bet you look at your younger self and you're like, fuck, why did you do that? Why? Mm-hmm. But if you use the same concept, you're like, oh, bro, you know who's watching you right now. You know who's watching you. And we know exactly when we're doing something bad. We know it. We feel it in our soul. So it's like, it's not like you don't know. It's like, no, you know you're doing something bad.
Yeah, dude. I think our CEO actually talks about this pretty often, where, dude, you actually don't ever remember the days that you had like a crazy big day. Like, yeah, those are cool days. Like, you still remember them, but like the days you really remember are the days that you didn't work, and you're like, damn, I could have done a lot more that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure. At the end of the year, you're like, wow, my bank account's not full. And then you start thinking about like, shit, well, I took time off. I was at McDonald's sometimes. I did this. I took a random bathroom break. I took a break. Like what? Like I think you should do those self-reflections, and it's just like, dude, you did it all yourself. A lot of people blame the opportunity in the company instead of themselves.
100%.
And that's what happens. And I feel like that's why the industry gets washed up. All sales is a scam. It's a scam because you were a scam.
That's also I heard before I even came in.
The person
that's all
is
I've
a
heard about
scam.
that.
Yeah, the person's a scam,
hear
bro.
it from the
Yourself's a
wrong people.
scam.
Yeah, well, the funny thing
People
is,
that
once
it's
you
like-
get in, if you dominate, you do good. Like those people that used to tell me that, I'm like, bro, that kid just didn't work for shit.
Beyond, like, bro, that kid's a pussy.
Yeah, literally. But there's just not a lot of ownership nowadays.
Yeah,
I feel like.
And I feel like the more successful you get, and the more successful people you meet, the more honest you become. Be like, and then you hear people you hear something, and they're like, oh, this, and like, those are fucking excuses. Stop. Like, you just physically don't want to be there because you're like, no, you're making excuses. Stop. And that's what I've learned, that it's like anybody in my life that makes this an excuse, I'm like, I don't have time for that because shit's happening to me and now I'm not making excuses. So why would I care about what you have to say right now? Right? So it's like this, you find another group of people who don't make excuses, and then it feels so good, bro. When you're with your homies and you're doing the same work, right? And then you hear something is going on with him and he still goes like, I'll make it happen. Don't worry. And I'm like, bro, your car just got stolen. But he's like, no, it's all good. I'll make it happen though.
Bro,
and
no,
I'm like,
what? That's huge.
Yeah, that just gives me goosebumps because I'm like, holy crap, bro. Like, that's the people you need in your life. The people that their whole life is breaking. It's like, no, it's all good. I'll make it happen. This will pass. But this needs to be done right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like those people, bro, those are the ones that you need in your life.
No, 100%. Dude, that's funny. That just gave me like, remember when I got my tires stolen?
Yep.
We were in Hartford, Connecticut, bro. And we woke up to go to the gym. Yeah, on my
are just
Camry.
missing,
It's
bro.
not even like
That's
it
crazy.
wasn't like an AMG or like, freaking Lambo. It's a Camry. And we go outside and my car's just on the ground, bro. They just, on rocks too. They
That's
just dropped it
crazy.
right on the ground. And it was funny. That's literally what I did. I Ubered. I still went out and sold. And yeah.
See that's where the
there's
magic
always a
is
way,
at.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the magic is at, bro. Where it's like, fuck. And then a lot of people go, God, why? It's like, no, God. Oh, cool. Thank you, actually.
And now I got to make up for it.
Yeah,
It's
It
putting you in
gets better,
check.
bro.
It's like putting you in check to
Yeah.
be like, sure, dude, you gotta work harder. Something's.
Yeah.
I like,
You
especially because once you're in that time period, it was a good check.
That was
There's
a
a lot
good
of good checkpoints.
Yeah,
Let's put it that way.
that's a good check.
Those are good checks. Let's put it that way.
Let me tell you.
Nah, I love it, man. But I think you guys have that character. I think you guys got that energy. And I'm excited to see where the fuck this goes next, man. This could be the biggest company in Utah. Or is it already?
It's up
So we're
Bro,
definitely
we did we're close to 7,000 installs. I don't.
Pound
There's
for
not
pound,
enough.
though?
There's not enough sales teams out there. I'll say this. I mean, Sunrun's one of the largest companies out there in the world. They've been around for a long time. And I mean, last year we did 3 times more of their production, and I know this year we did. So I mean, like, I think there's a lot of places to make money, but there's a lot of, if you're not in the right system, you're just never gonna get there. Yeah. And I think if the person that you're directly under, like your boss, the one that's out there in the trenches, is not making 10x what you want to make, then you're never gonna get there.
Never, yeah.
And I think that's a harsh reality. Like, bro, if my boss was only making, $200K, why would I follow him forever?
Yeah.
And then next year you made 400, 200, 300. Like, why would I follow them? That's why I always want to keep breaking the barriers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because that means more people want to follow me. That means if I make this much, everyone can make that much as well. And I think that's the thing that like people got to realize is like, bro, you might be in the wrong system. You have the talent, but you're just in the wrong system. And you got to like find it. And if you find it, you'll be there too.
You gotta lead by example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best way to lead, bro. Like, I hate when people want to lead, but they don't want to be the best. It's like, how? That's not going to work out. So, I'm excited for you guys. This might be a cool episode. When I go back, I'm like, damn, this guy's became billionaires. That's crazy. So, yeah, thank you guys for being a part of the show. This show was dope.
Appreciate
Solid.
it, bro.
No, I appreciate having you.
Yeah. And to you guys, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're right here with us right now with the boys.
Facundo.
Holden.
Steven.
Yes,
Give me a
sir.
shout out. IG, Steven Roselle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Holden
shit.
Martineau. Let's go.
F_Soto_9.
Hey. No, but thank you. That's real. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Go to sleep early, stop cheating, and love yourself. Peace out.
Let's go.
Let's go. Solid.
That was dope.
What's the thing behind stop cheating?
Huh?
What's the thing is behind stop cheating?
What do you mean?
Like your quote, isn't that your mantra? Stop
Oh, yeah. It's literally just stop cheating on yourself, because there's people cheating all the time.
Yeah.
Like on the girls and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, why are you cheating
Let-
on girls?